Hey guys, thanks for visiting my channel, Type 1 Strong. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like this video. So yesterday I released a video reviewing the Minimed 670G in manual mode. And I talked about, how great it was, how much I loved the suspend before low, and how it kept my blood sugars in range after recovering. Yesterday was the first time that I've been in manual mode that I said, I can't wait to see how auto mode handles my situation. And the situation was that I was at a birthday party for my goddaughter, who is my niece. And, for me, I'm a person who can't really eat starchy carbohydrates, or I need to eat them in very small amounts because my body becomes very resistant to insulin hours afterwards. So you probably ask me, well, why don't you just use a dual wave? And I really didn't think that I would need to because I only had a sandwich on a hard roll and had some cake afterwards. And usually those don't, mess my blood sugar up too much. But yesterday it did. And for two reasons, I think. So the first reason was when I got to the birthday party, I was in suspend before low for probably maybe 30 minutes. And I forgot that when I ate this sandwich. So I'm, approximately 30 plus grams of carbohydrates when I wasn't getting any insulin for a period of time. So contributing factor number one, it was possibly that. And contributing factor number two was possibly the cake that, just really did me in and spiked my blood sugar. Now, if I was in auto mode, none of those things would matter because I was still suspended before low, and I would have eaten. I would not have gotten the right amount of carbohydrates to cover the lack of insulin and the carbohydrates that I was eating. But if we forget about the suspend before low, then the question that I have is how auto mode will work when you are eating things like pizza or high starchy, complex carbohydrates. And if you're a person who is resistant like I am afterwards. So I'll show you the graph. See if I can get it here. Here you can see this is about when it starts to rise. Sorry, everything's backwards in my camera here. When it starts to rise, it's about 5 p.m. and it rises, rises, rises. All these little dots you see, I don't know if you can make that out, but those are sensor glucose values that I put in because I kept trying to, get insulin. I wanted to tell my pump that my blood sugars are rising. And you can see up here that these are all the boluses that I gave myself. There was a ton. They're all mushed together because that's how many I gave. So eventually around 12 a.m. it started to fall. And then it spiked back up again and began to fall around 12:30 a.m. to 1 a.m. where it ended up going low when I suspended twice. And then I woke up. So I really can't wait to see how auto mode handles situations where you might become more resistant because of the certain foods you're eating. And also because dual wave is not an option when you're in auto mode. Basically, your only option for insulin in auto mode is the carbohydrates that you're inputting. You're inputting your blood sugars, but you're not getting boluses for them. You're going to use your blood sugars for calibration, and that's really it, except for the moments when auto mode, isn't bringing your blood sugar down and it asks you or recommends that you do a correction. And then you'll input your blood sugar, you'll get insulin based on that. Otherwise, you're putting in the amount of carbohydrates you're eating. It's recommended a bolus for you, and you're getting it. So there aren't any corrections that you're really going to be doing. Even if you're in the 140, your pump's just going to continually try and bring that back down to 120. So I just want to give that quick review that I had. This was the first time when I became resistant, and I was like, man, I really wish I had auto mode on to see how it would handle it. So that's it. So again, on Wednesday, I will be in auto mode, and I will give a review maybe that day of the initial process of going into auto mode, but definitely a couple days after to give my initial impressions of auto mode. All right, once again, thanks for watching and see you next time.